Cats are a sign of superior intelligence, and that's an interesting segue. Because greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek. Joined today.
Please don't put my, doom scrolling into this
No,
video.
no, worry not. With me is my good friend Itaku, and today we are looking at the visual novel OmONeko. One of the devs at Tail Chaser Games DM'd me on Twitter, and I want to apologize again because I didn't see it for like 2 months because I barely checked my Twitter feed. I'm sorry. He no, I don't know who it is, someone from the team told me about this and another VN that I'll get to in the future. And they were very proud to tell me that one of the guys who worked on A Whole Lot to Love worked on this game as well. And it was apparently that video that drew their attention. So thank you, because I love it when game devs reach out and tell me about their games.
Also, I'm so sorry because that literally is just me being drunk and leering at several girls.
Mostly at Mitsuru. So,
Yes.
so we're going to get into it. I don't really have any expectations. When one door closes, start the story. I'm the cat. Good for you.
Well, at least they know what they are. That's a
Part one.
that is a start.
Yep.
And we are starting at part 1. That's also good.
Yeah, that's
It's not like Star Wars.
Generally the correct place to start. Mia glares at me one last time for slamming the door.
Aw, she's kind of a cutie.
As her dramatic exit fades, I realize this may be the last time I see my girlfriend again. Well, ex-girlfriend, that's for sure. Well, that's an unfortunate start, mate. Surrender myself to the sofa, trying to replay all the terrible things that were said, but all I can think is, wow, all her stuff fit in 2 bags. 6 months of living together, everything, 2 bags.
Oh man. You know what though?
Bro, that means you
hashtag relatable. that is a hashtag relatable moment.
I don't believe you, because I've never seen a woman travel anywhere for more than a 6-hour trip with less than like 3 or 4, let alone living together.
Here's the thing though. The fact that he commented on it, I think, proves that he is on the same wavelength that we are, Professor.
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe. I get it. She just got the car. Yes, she had to save a long time for it. And as clever as Nekos are, they just lose it when crossing roads. Oh, okay. We're so many ways they look human. Hitting a Neko must get as traumatic as hitting an actual person. I can't imagine going through that. And yes, it sucks that the car is wrecked, but get rid of Claudia. Oh no, not Claudia! We literally just played a game about haunted dolls with a crazy cursed cat doll named Claudia, spelled that exact way. Good lord. Claudia had nothing to do with your accident. Even if I wanted to get rid of Claudia, which I don't, I can't. I promised that I would take care of her. It's the whole point of moving back here. Mia knows this. What did she expect me to say? I vent aloud to the room. I noticed a concerned pair of eyes peeking at me from the sunroom. Hey, Claus, sorry you had to hear all that. She hid from the fight. Now she's come to assess the situation and check on me.
Oh Lord.
Mad.
Oh Lord. I have a Chessie who's the same way. Whenever anybody raises their voice, even if someone's just like excited about like a sports game or something,
yeah,
she gets really upset and she runs out of the room.
Yeah, not at you. With slow, deliberate steps, Claudia crosses the room. She stops at the far end of the sofa, examining me with her gentle gaze. This is your home, Claudia. I will never send you away. You are family. Claudia's expression visibly softens, and the crease of her brow betrays some lingering unease. She can read my dark mood. Well, cats are pretty intuitive. In her typical way.
And here's the thing.
Oh?
Here's the thing. Cats also. I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this with Sir Dash. If you've been around them, they will react to your mood.
Yep.
I used to have this prissy old Marmalade, and she was a cantankerous queen. But there were a couple times that I was just in a really, really, really foul mood. But she would come over and she would sit in my lap. And I think she knew that I was feeling upset.
Yep. Yeah,
So, I
those...
mean, as funny as it is that, like, that's the thing that cats don't care.
Oh,
They
no, they
do care.
do. They don't show it the same way. There was, my parents had Miss Olivia, who you saw, uh,
Ah, yes.
and there was a
Lady
time...
Lou.
Yep. There was a time I got influenza A and B at the same time, and it was ugly. And I actually stayed at their house overnight because it was just easier and I didn't feel like driving. Um, and normally Olivia was not allowed in at night because she wouldn't settle in and she would just demand attention all night, which is very annoying. She got in, and I think she could tell that I was feeling bad because she basically just curled up under my chin and just stayed there and purred the entire night. It's like they know. They're very intuitive creatures. In her typical way, Mia didn't just leave. She quietly scorched the earth beneath us first. She knew what fuel to use and just where to set the sparks. She didn't yell, didn't even raise her voice. The whole melodramatic event left me exhausted, hollowed out, and smoldering. Claudia slides over to me, placing a hand on my thigh and letting out a small sound. Sad. I thought I was hiding it better. Yeah, I'm sad. I reach up and rub her head. Claudia presses into my hand, twisting so that I'm now rubbing the base of her ear. She loved it when Mom would do this. My fingers alternate between rubbing and scratching the thick, yielding cartilage of the cool, large ear. Her closed eyes and peaceful smile are complemented by a long, low hum. Claudia's presence at this moment brings a tranquility which is surprisingly disarming. Like a relaxing fist, the tension fades from my back and neck as I rub her ear. Her simple joy thins the bitterness in my belly, melting it away. Claudia lets out more soft hums and turns, rolling onto her back with her head on my lap. I have to reach around her face to keep scratching her ear. This means I can feel her warm breath on the skin of my forearm as she hums through her contagious smile. The moment is both deeply intimate and completely innocent. I've always been amazed at the level of trust she gives me, completely vulnerable yet totally comfortable. Growing up together, Claudia was Mom's shadow. Mom would dress her up and do girly things with her. They'd be together all the time. When not with Mom, Claudia would hang out alone in the sunroom watching the birds. I always thought she was pretty, but other than seeing her at dinner and occasionally I'd know a hug from her, my head was buried in schoolwork. We just weren't very close. After I finished school, I was able to get my own place with the monthly disbursement from Dad's accident. I met Mia. Mom had to move and couldn't take Claudia with her. Mom offered me the house on the provision that I'd take care of for her Neko. Of course I said yes. We moved in. For the last 6 months, my focus was, naturally, on Mia. Claudia would help me in the kitchen and have meals with us, but otherwise she kept to herself, keeping busy with chores, doing dishes, folding laundry, taking care of the flowers in the garden. And now, after the breakup with Mia, here's Claudia to ease my stress. Selflessly affectionate, reminding me when we were younger. I'd get home after a hard day at school. Claudia would come out of the sunroom and surprise me with a big hug and a smile. She always seemed to know when I needed one. My Neko now, my responsibility. I hate that Mia put me into a position where I was expected to choose between my girlfriend and my Neko. It's complete bullshit that Mia would vent on Claudia like this. As the bitter flavors resurge to my sour in my stomach, Claudia pops her head up. Tea. Yeah, good idea. We head into the kitchen to make our tea. I prepare the kettle and grab the tin, while Claudia fetches 2 cups and the milk. For me, a cup of tea with a splash of milk. Claudia, a cup of milk with a splash of tea. I don't know if you can really call what Claudia drinks tea, but she's always called it that, so I do too. Claudia drinks half her tea, then sits grinning and licking her lips. I smile, almost against my will. It's all the evidence I need. I'm grateful to have her. Claudia is intelligent, capable, and complex, with such alien motivations and concerns compared to those of humans, but it's just the way it so deeply embraces the simplest joys of her domesticated life that I find so zen. As if reading my thoughts, Claudia looks up from her tea. Good. As always, I'm not entirely sure what she's referring to. Likely much more than just the tea. Yes, Claudia. It is good. Now, get a look at our pro tag, or at least young pro tag. Tail Chaser presents a story told by... Yeah, your fish is backwards. Alright, this is these names are coming up rather fast, so I'm just gonna let them display themselves for you guys' consideration. So this is interesting. They said they wanted to play with some of the concepts that you see in Catgirl stories. So I'm very curious to see what direction this all takes.
It seems to be that they're implying that they're not actually people, but they're basically human-like animals.
That seems to be the implication, yes.
Man, we look cool.
They're pretty sharp.
Yeah. You know, it's Mia's loss, I guess. Looks like, you know, we're a fly dude on the, you know,
We're on
prowl.
Yeah. Oh gosh, she's cute.
That's a darn shame, though. Mia's a cutie. Well, she's kind of cute too. These are some very attractive character designs. I like the. Props to whoever the character designer was. I did not catch that in the.
There was a lot of names, and none of them were credited for their roles. Just the names. So...
Whoever it was, you did good. These are all very good.
We'll find out. There's going to be a credit scroll at some point, so... I don't think this is one of those VNs with a skill floor, because those ones are kind of frustrating, I'll be honest.
I'm just saying, too, I have no...
Rat? What's up with the evil rat? Like a bolt from the blue, the doorbell shatters my trance. Take a moment to shake off the irrational sense of dread the doorbell always causes me. Relax, just a stupid doorbell. Well, that means you have to deal with people. I fully understand not wanting to do that. Probably nothing. Postman. Or kid selling cookies for a fundraiser. Yes, it's the rule is no solicitation unless you have cookies. And to quote, Flork Sensei, it's my home, and God gave me the right to turn it into a tomb for would-be thieves and federal agents. I know it's nothing. Still. Every time I hear it. The next time that doormat goes on sale, I am buying one. I'm just saying. Shaking my head to rebury the old ghost, unearths a more recent one. Mia? Did she come back? Of course not. Mia wouldn't just come back. If she wanted to talk, she'd message me and tell me to meet her, likely somewhere inconvenient. It would be all planned out ahead of time. Now I'm thinking about Mia again. How did she fill her stuff in 2 bags? I mean, seriously, there weren't even big bags. He is really, really concerned by that.
No. What he's probably thinking is she inevitably left something there. So what's that going to look like? Because that's going to involve additional drama.
That's true. Maybe I screwed up this time. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just kind of stroking my chin, being like, this would probably be my thought too. I'm like, okay, you inevitably left something. This means that you're planning something in the future.
Yeah.
What is that going to look like? And how is it going to somehow be my fault? Because inevitably it's going to...
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this, in a bitter way. I'm just saying this in a...
When people get mad, they get petty and vindictive. So there's no telling.
Yeah. And it's kind of a case of having lived on this world and being a straight man.
You see things.
Like, no. You see things, and it's one of those, like, I understand why I'm constantly being like, I love your mother, but sometimes I wish I could shoot your mother. And I'm like, Dad, why are you saying that? And now I'm like, I kind of get it.
No, that's
I
life.
kind of get it.
That's life, though.
Yeah.
Usually when she's passive-aggressive me, I could just wait her out. Let her get it out of her system. If I hadn't said anything, maybe that's what would have happened this time, too. Sigh. I hesitate a moment to collect myself.
Wait, who says sigh? Wait a second.
Oh, wait, sorry, wrong story. I hesitate a moment to collect myself. By now, Claudia should be out of sight, so a stranger won't see her. One of the first things Mom taught her. Having a Neko isn't illegal, but it is kind of weird, and the fewer people who know, generally the better. Don't know why I added a word to that sentence, but whatever. With a deep breath, I open the door to end the mystery. What? I twist the handle and give a firm tug. The door opens slightly and is yanked closed again. My lungs slowly force air through clenched teeth, causing a hissing sound, like the slow match of a burning fuse. I'm in no mood for this. I'm still wound up tight because of Mia. This is a bad time for someone to be messing with me. A heat from the back of my skull radiates into my arms, bringing both of my hands around the door handle. Yanking with all my might does the trick. Too well. The door flies open. I tumble backwards. My second surprise this morning is replaced by shock as someone lands on top of me. Ow. The next moment lasts only an instant, but feels much longer as my brain pieces together what's happening. Someone's on top of me. Then someone is probably a woman, guessing by the smell of peach shampoo. The unmistakable feel pressed to my face through soft fabric. Normally, this would put me in a good mood, but the pain in my back. Ah! The sound she makes zaps me back to reality, and she seems in pain. Surprising quickness, she rolls off me and turns back towards the door. Then I notice the ears and tail. It's a Neko? Wearing a collar, with a leash tied to the door handle. What the... At the sound of my voice, Neko spins back towards me, leaning uncomfortably close. The blindingly sharp movement freezes me in place. Nose to nose, her unblinking eyes hold my gaze. Her breath warms my face as she angrily scrutinizes me. For a moment, she twists away. Neko settles onto her rump. Her tail follows with a heavy thump. She lets out a displeased huff, a quiet vocal whine, the same sound that a moment ago I mistook for pain. As I remember to breathe again, my mind puts the final piece of this puzzle together. Pepper. Pepper turns one ear in my direction at the sound of her name, but keeps her focus towards the door. Pepper is in my house. Why is Pepper in my house? Pepper, why are you here, and where's Goro? I asked that last question, already knowing the answer. My eyes focus on Pepper's leash tied to my door handle. Pepper, pawn. Goro, gone. The ache in my back slows my rise from the hard floor. I step around Pepper and untie her leash. Grab her small suitcase. Her small suitcase. I'm going to murder Goro. Pepper is Goro's Neko. Like me and Claudia, Goro's had Pepper ever since he was a kid and she was a kitten. When Goro was young, rats. The normal, scary big ones that length of your arm, not the insane, horrifyingly big ones the size of your leg. I ironically played a game about that too, which is Legends of Madrid, Secrets of the Underground, where I was literally being hunted by a human-sized rat. So, let's just say I have some experience on the subject matter. Found a way into his basement.
Vermintide again, isn't it?
I mean, you know, we did pretty well in that game. The three of us, Clockwork, you and I. Goro's family tried traps and exterminators. Once rats get a foothold, like a very dangerous, slowly rising tide, they gain ground. Almost like a vermin tide.
And that's the thing too, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the Looney Tunes and areas us to think that, you know, like mice and rats are like cute and they're the underdogs.
No, they're not.
They're evil and they bring pestilence. There's a reason why they're you know, synonymous in culture. You know,
they're
not
evil.
So much anymore.
They never stop eating.
Pestilence.
They never stop breeding. They will destroy a house's infrastructure. They will destroy anything in their way, and then when they're like good and done destroying it, they'll just move somewhere else to continue destroying. They are really quite awful creatures to have around.
Yes, exactly.
You got a kitten to take care of the problem. And oh boy, did she. Pepper turned out to be a rat-murdering machine. Almost immediately, she fashioned a spear out of a carving knife and a broomstick and went monkey stomping wild on the basement rat population. I'm told she would wait.
The funny thing is, too, people often have thought of, you know, they bring up in, you know, the like tier zoo arguments and stuff. They're like, why, what stops a cat from murdering things much larger? And the answer ultimately is like, because they're always talking about is because house cats are like 8 ounces. They're like 8 pounds, rather.
Yep.
And so they're actually remarkably efficient at what they do. Now imagine, if you will, a house cat with the intelligence of a human and the capability of wielding tools,
Yeah, that
they
changes
probably
the
would be able
dynamic.
to look at a T-Rex, like a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and go, yeah, I could kill that.
That's dinner
And they
tonight.
probably could.
And
Yeah.
tomorrow. And the day after. And the day after that.
Oh, sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, I mean, we did that in A Whole Lot to Love, too, so it's whatever. I'm told you wait for hours, often letting them scurry around half the day before ambushing and unleashing hell upon them. And this was as a kitten. Goro's family would reward Pepper with heaps of praise, and by cooking the rat she slaughtered on their grill... Oh no, now we're playing kiosk again! Pepper bonded with Goro, so he took her with him when he got his own place.
Well, there's no seed oils.
You know, it's legit. They're grilled, not fried. Pepper bonded with Goro, so he took her with him when he got his own place. I've known Pepper for as long as I've known Goro, but... I don't understand. Why are you here? Pepper answers my question with an angry flip of the tip of her tail, the only thing betraying her calm exterior. She tries to hide her anxiety and look dignified on my foyer floor. This doesn't feel like a typical Goro prank or one of his impulsive bad ideas. The thought of that is not reassuring. Rubbing my sore back, I step over to grab my phone from the small table where I charge it. This isn't Pepper's doing, so as I pass, I automatically touch her head. She ignores the reassuring gesture. A narrow pair of eyes peeking over the back of the sofa catch my attention. And my concern.
I mean, unless Claudia knows Pepper.
It's possible.
Which they might.
They might.
They might. And here's the thing. Cats don't like being around other cats.
Not unless they grew up together, yeah.
Yes. This is kind of why like getting them socialized very early is important. Yep. So this could go south very quickly.
It could. My two are siblings from the same parents, but different litters. 6 months separated, with Sir Dash being the elder. But they grew up together. They know each other very well, and so they'll tolerate each other. But I really probably couldn't introduce another cat at this point, lest all hell break loose. Claudia, drawn by recent commotion, has decided to see what the fuss is all about, but only from a distance. A creeping worry.
That was a kind of a concern for a while when we lived together.
Yeah.
Because you had Lady Chloe.
Yeah, Empress Chloe.
We were debating getting a kitten, but we're like, we don't want her to just straight up,
eat it.
Send the baby to Brazil.
Yeah, be a bad time for all involved. Creeping worry stops me before I can dial. Claudia's never met another Neko, so no, they don't know each other. Can't imagine that Pepper has either. No. This could be a problem. Nekos can be vicious. I can just picture a fight, scratching, clawing, tearing at each other's clothes.
Oh, my.
For a moment, the depraved part of my brain twists the scenario into two territorial domestic Nekos into a cat fight.
Oh, my.
I don't think I can have that word on screen for YouTube, so let's just skip ahead. Stop that. The non-lizard part of my brain quickly points out the reality of the situation.
You could just put, Jitaku head.
Just censor Jitaku. Catfight would not be attractive. It would be savage and bloody. Remember the old news report. So I started for the third time this morning. Just as I'm about to dial, my phone rings. What the hell, Goro? At the sound of Goro's name, Pepper leans closer, focusing intently on the phone. Hey, buddy, how's things? Goro's chipper tone causes my grip on the phone to tighten. Worse, the sound of his car engine through the echo of his speakerphone tells me he's driving away. Pepper comes even closer. You and Pepper all right? You looked rough when you two tumbled. Feel my cheeks get hot. Wait, you saw that? Dude, what kind of a person do you think I am? I wasn't just going to leave her there and drive off. I waited till you opened the door first. I'm absolutely speechless. Pepper sees Claudia. They exchange a glare. After a moment, they both return their attention to Goro's voice. Hey, I'm glad you called. He called me. Look, Goro, I'm not in the mood for your insanity. This isn't funny. Come on, it's a little funny. Yeah? What if one of my neighbors saw? Who, Veronica? Veronica likes Nekos. I have other neighbors, you twit. Relax, no one saw. No prank this time, I swear. You said that last time, and the time before that. True, but this time I actually mean it. Goro, I'm serious. Great news! I joined the army. I leave in a week for basic. The army? Goro's played a lot of tricks on me. You get used to things not being what they seem around him. That's not even a good setup. You're losing your edge. I'm out of my apartment today and crashing at my aunt's till I leave. Can't take Pepper to the army. But Pepper likes you. Besides, with Mia gone... My jaw drops. Of course Mia told you. She messaged me this morning, and for what it's worth, she's being completely unreasonable, as usual. I didn't tell her that, though, otherwise she'd be pissed off at me, too. I just kept sending her frowny face emotes.
Passive-aggressive. Man after my own heart.
The whole time with her matter-of-fact tone. How do you expect me to live with one of those things now? Cool and collected as always. She just laid it out in a regular, measured voice. I'm your girlfriend. It's just an echo. Quietly demanding. Get rid of it. I don't refer to her as an it. That would make me mad if it was one of my cats. Wait, Goro's using me as a distraction. Has he part of whatever game he's playing? Oh, you joining the army and dumping Pepper on me is reasonable? Dude, your EMT job is training you to become a paramedic. There's no way you join... I'm going to be the army medic. I had the training right after boot camp. I got it in writing, signed by a colonel. If I play my cards right, down the road I may get the army to pay for medical school too. Dr. Goro. Sexy, right? Say it, Dr. Goro. Say it, come on. You know you want to say it. I can usually anticipate his thought process, but Goro's practiced this conversation. Right now he's 6 steps ahead and I'm fumbling to catch up. He's famous for doing crazy and impulsive things, but this is really weird and out of the blue, even for him. The army? Where's the punchline? Not this time, no prank. This really isn't one of your twisted games? Nah, man, no game. It's a 1-2 punch that has me reeling. Goro joined the army. He's leaving. I don't want Pepper. I already have an Echo. No one has 2. He can't take Pepper with them. Who is he going to leave her with? Me. Damn it. Look, this is hard for me. You're the only one in the world I trust her with. You know I wouldn't do this unless I was out of options. There isn't anyone else. You're it. He's dropped me and Pepper into the situation, and I hate myself because I don't see any way out. I can't say no because I feel bad for Pepper. I've only known her as a sassy, self-assured, confident, and feisty. But right now, Sneko looks lost, meek, and unwanted, and I hate seeing her like this. I want to be pissed off. I mean, I am. I want to be more pissed off. I should be more, but there's something in Goro's voice, a certain tone that's usually never there. A finality that I've only ever heard once before. I'm sorry that I did this, but I'm not sorry that you're someone I know will treat her well and make her happy. He's played me perfectly, even though this is the worst way he could have gone about this, for me and for Pepper. You suck, Goro. He replies with no trace of humor. I know. Goro then asks to speak to Pepper. I hold the phone out, and she takes it like she's receiving a fragile gift. He tells her that she is an awesome Neko, and that I'm going to take very good care of her, so she should stay out of trouble. Pepper doesn't move the whole time. Her entire being is focused on Goro's voice. Claudia joins us in the foyer. Her expression has softened. She looks at Pepper, then to me, and back to Pepper. Pepper puts down the phone and adjusts her position so that her legs are under her, and her tail is wrapped around them. Her eyes stare flatly at a blank spot on the wall. A somber hush fills the house. I pick up the phone. Oh, and she may try to climb into the shower with you. I drop the phone. Ba-da-bap-ba-da-bap. Takes 3 times to pick it up again. Actually, my cats have never tried to climb into the shower, but they like to sit there and stare at me while I'm in the shower, which is also kind of weird and slasher movie-esque. So
you see, here's the thing: you don't have any water. My parents have a doodle,
right?
And if we don't keep the bathroom locked when people go into the shower, he tries to get in there because he just loves water that much.
You know, some animals are like that.
No, he loves swimming. He's all about that. So,
Himmies don't like getting wet. So, dude, what?
Well, they're also like basically living cotton balls. So,
yeah, they're more cloud than cat. Yeah. I never told you this. Pepper loves showers, so when she hears the water, she gets excited and tries to get in. She's harmless, but she'll use too much shampoo. Oh, and she may forget to put clothes on after. I make several unintelligent... I'm making several unintelligent sounds into the phone. The Nekos can probably hear the blood rushing to my face. Oh yeah, fun thing about cat hearing is every time I sneeze, Dash likes to run over and check on me to see if I'm okay. And apparently the reason for that is your heart actually stops for a moment when you sneeze, and the cat becomes alarmed and thinks you're in danger. Geez, lock the door when you're in there. Of course Pepper will whine and bang on the door. Look, I'm sorry, I promise. I'll make it up to you. One day. Says the guy going into the army. Call in. Someone's trying to not think of Pepper in the shower with me. T. Oh, we have our first prompt. So let's go ahead and save. So we'll have some splits to deal with. Okay. So we have just been bossed around by our cat that she wants tea. You know what? I'm thinking we should deal with this. I think.
Yeah, I feel like we should address this situation. So I agree with you.
Yeah. All right. It always surprised me that Claudia didn't take over my bedroom after I moved out. Instead, she happily stayed in the sunroom at the back of the house, which looks out into the garden. Sounds like a place a cat would love. So Mom turned my old room into a home office. Since Pepper really needs some privacy, it's really the only room available. There's no bed in here anymore. There is a nice-sized window seat with a thick and comfortable cushion. More than enough for an echo, really. So where do I sleep? This will be your room, Pepper. I settled her in. Oh, I bet he's staying in the master suite where his mom's room used to be. Okay, that makes sense. Pepper had no interest in dinner. She stayed in her room for the rest of the day. The silence that seemed to radiate from her felt unnatural. Pepper can be many things, but reserved is not one of them. Night only intensified this impression. Cats have people. They latch on to a person that they love the most.
Yeah.
So this probably hurts her feelings a great deal.
Yeah, I can only imagine this is what Lady Chloe had to deal with after I had to move away, unfortunately.
Yeah, like you were one of the few people she'd tolerate.
Hey, I would come home from work and she would give me a report of all the birds that she saw that day. You know, it was important.
Yep. Yeah, no, it was. And plus, if she couldn't get into my bed, she would climb into yours. So, no, she liked having her two guys around, so that way she could, bounce between us when she wanted.
Yes. There was many a day that she would see me walk over to my bathroom and then have to sing the song of her people about why it is so sad that her two servants were not paying attention to her. And don't you know, God, you need to smite these two people because they're not clearly doing their job.
Yeah, obviously. I don't think she slept much. Thinking about it, Pepper was just unceremoniously dumped into a new home that wasn't expecting her. Add to that all the new sounds and smells. It's no wonder she didn't sleep. I'm sure in Goro's mind, this would seem like an adventurous way of finding Pepper a new home, but really it was kind of a dick move on his part. If he just asked, of course I would have said, hell no! Absolutely no way! Nobody has two Nekos. Most people don't even have one. Damn it, Goro. Of course I had my own reasons for not sleeping well. My bed felt too big. The loneliness hit hard, and that made a new grim thought pester me all night. My whole life, people keep leaving me. When Dad died, he left a nice watch, a big insurance settlement, and a broken family. When Mom moved away, she left this house and Claudia behind. Mia took 2 bags and left an empty bed. And now Goro's going away and leaving behind Pepper.
This guy has serious separation anxiety.
Yeah, seriously.
I get it.
They go, and you get a souvenir. Another restless night. At least cooking breakfast always lifts my mood. After bringing me everything I'll need for eggy bread, Claudia gets the plates and sporks to set the table. Pepper apprehensively comes out to inspect the goings-on in the kitchen. Everything she looks at seems to annoy her, myself included. Good morning, Pepper. You're in time for breakfast. Pepper doesn't eat much. Mostly she just makes unhappy faces while moving food around with her spork. Claudia and Pepper size each other up, then they Neko dance, pretending to ignore each other, then stealing glances when they think the other won't notice. Sigh. Their attitudes are a little annoying, but not surprising. This is brand new for both of them. They likely just need time to get used to each other. After breakfast, Claudia cleans the kitchen and then spends the morning out in the garden. She obviously avoids being around Pepper. Pepper wanders around the house or follows me around. Her mood keeps swinging back and forth from anxious to flat annoyance to bratty attitude. Bratitude, Goro called it. Seems to be her default. I do my best to ignore it, having a hard enough time trying to stay positive as is. I'm sure that when she settles in, things will get better. Lunchtime, girls. Back at the table for a second meal with us, Pepper nibbles. Mostly just moves her food around, making a good deal of noise with her spork on her plate. I can tell the dramatic size and sound of steel on ceramic are getting on Claudia's nerves. At least Pepper eats a little. Pepper does seem curious about Claudia's painted nails. I catch her several times looking intently at them. I never considered how unusual Claudia using nail polish must be. It's just something Mom taught her, and she's always done. After lunch, I relaxed, surfing on my phone. She did her very best not to panic when the knock sounded on the front door with limited success. As I numbly let my brain fade into the nothing of social media, Claudia waters the plants. She goes to the kitchen and fills a tall glass from the sink, carries it over to whatever thirsty plant is getting a drink, and repeats for the next. There are dozens of plants around the house, so Claudia does a bit of back and forth, getting the weekly chore done. Pepper, meanwhile, starts cat-culating. This is something I've seen her do when I visit Goro. She'll look from one object to another, say, from the end of the sofa to the far wall. Then in her mind, she'll figure out how many steps she has to take to get from point A to point B. How many big steps, how many small steps. 8. No, wait, 9. Then she will test her guesses. No one knows why she does it, or where she learned it. She just does it for fun, apparently. Goro made up the term cat calculating, or cat-culating. Seems appropriate. Claudia finishes the plant and starts on her way back to the sink, when Pepper crosses in front of her. 4, 5. Pepper's tail gently brushes into Claudia's face as they cross paths. I almost didn't catch it due to Pepper keeping her eyes locked on mine. Claudia, noticeably flustered, huffs displeasure at Pepper, which Pepper ignores. Maybe it was incidental. They return to their activities, Claudia watering plants and Pepper cat-culating. That's still throwing me off a bit. I return to my phone. 8.
You know, the funny thing is, though, is that I have noticed, though, with when my parents got their doodle, and they got him very young.
Right.
Our Chessie and he would do this game where they'd like try and sneak up on each other, and it's very clear that like they knew that the other was trying to do it, but they just kind of just get very still. I wonder if that's what's going on with Pepper right now.
Maybe
is that she's like trying to sneak around and
8, 6, 4. It happens again. Claudia stops in her tracks, almost spilling the glass of water.
Oh, this is a I see what's going on. This is actually a dominance ritual. What she's doing with cats, to rub on something is to claim it as. So she's actually claiming authority over Claudia.
Eyes locked on Pepper, she said a low and long huff. That was no accident. There's a tension in the room that I'm not liking in the slightest.
Yep.
She's not
asserting her dominance.
Let's not do that.
She's T-posing.
Pepper actually, she doesn't know what I'm talking about. That's a cat reaction, all right. What? I'm not doing anything. Then returns my hard look with her own sour expression. Perturbed that her mischief has ended, Pepper heads to the far end of the room. Claudia returns to her chore. I watch Pepper cat-culate for another moment, making sure that she's moved on from antagonizing Claudia. Claudia,
it's funny.
What's that?
Oh, I was just gonna say, there's a in second edition Exalted, they got rid of it for third edition, unfortunately. There is a charm for Lunars called Cat Face Denial, which is supposed to be that, cats' faces, if you look at them, are inscrutable. You really can't tell unless you have been around cats, like what if you just look at it, what their expression is. But Doodle, our and I've always taken it that it's just always the kitty face. So it's like You know, it's ultimately what it does is it basically allows you to just reject a social attack. And so it's like, why won't you listen to me? :3.
Kitty face. Claudia's tall, slightly taller than me, and a lot bigger than Pepper. She has a very pleasant demeanor, but I have no idea what she would do if she was pushed and decided to push back. The last thing I want to do is break up two Nekos trying to murder each
Oh,
other.
you know what this is. You know what this is.
What's that?
She's like a Maine Coon versus one of the like Egyptian bush cats.
Maybe.
So yeah, she does seem to be markedly bigger than Pepper. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean that checks out. She would be some kind of bigger breed. I mean, it varies a little based on individual. Like Dash is a 14-pound cat.
Maine Coons are like gigantic though.
Yes, they're huge.
They are like dog sized. It is. Yeah.
Also interesting, they're bred for friendliness. Maine Coons are
Really?
lap cats. They love people.
I have never actually interacted with one, so I could not tell you. That's good to know.
Yeah, Maine Coons are very friendly.
We're learning things today, people.
Yep.
We're learning things.
I grew up around cats my entire life, so I know a thing or two as well.
Oh, so did I.
Oh yeah,
I mean, in fact, my grandmother bred them, but it's more of a case of just like American short hairs rather.
Yeah, I mean, most of the cats you'll see are American short hairs or some variant or mix thereof. But you'll see others here and there. I once saw a news report where two ferals were found dead in an alleyway. There was blood everywhere, and they looked like they had been through a shredder. Everyone thought it was weird. Not the violence. Nekos, especially feral ones, can be ferocious, but why would two ferals fight? That's just weird. They can be ferocious, they just aren't. Feral Nekos are solitary creatures, avoiding contact with humans and each other. Which is interesting, as that's not 100% true in most feral cats.
Yes, feral cats actually will. Basically, what will happen is there will be colonies of females that will basically interact and raise their children together, and then the toms will all form basically a group themselves.
Yep.
And so that's how they'll interact with each other. Granted, they're not going to be like hyper social the way that dogs will.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not like completely.
Yeah, they're not fully solitary creatures. They have some social cliques. So
exactly. Yeah.
Still, police speculated that it was probably like two banshees going at it. Whirl of sharp nails and neck biting, and they both ended up bleeding out fairly quickly from the damage.
If there is actual banshee shrieks going on, that is something else going on. Mommy, are they fighting? Don't look, Jimmy.
Now all I can think about is Pepper and Claudia going out like a pair of banshees, whirl of claws and neck biting, and me trying to break it up, looking like I went through a shredder.
That begs a question. Does this mean that Nekos actually have like retractable claws?
That doesn't sound
so
like
they
it.
Don't actually have like fingernails?
No, because no, Claudia has painted fingernails. That was a thing. So like their fingernails were always visible. There once were two cats of Kilkenny. Each thought there was one cat too many. So they fought and they fit, and they scratched and they bit, till instead of two cats there weren't any. My attempt to relax has not been going like I planned. That's because doom scrolling is like the worst way to relax, dude. It's awful. Social media is cancer of the soul.
People in Ohio, and something awful happened to them. It could happen to you.
It will happen to you. That is social media in a nutshell right there.
Something in Missouri happened. That's coming right to you. It's at your front door. It's inside your breakfast cereal.
What is it, Mary-san? Jeez.
Yes.
What's worse is, when I looked at my phone for someone to chat with, I realized that all the people I know are Goro's or Mia's friends, not mine. Before I get dejected at how depressing that is, I see it about to happen. Pepper's practiced patience. She waited till both Claudia and I forgot about the whole tail thing, then made her move, coming casually towards Claudia at an oblique angle. Before I can shout at her, and right before Pepper crosses in front of Claudia, whomp. Claudia swings her massive tail hard to the side of Pepper's head. The sound of the impact is loud, as if Pepper had been hit with a dense, heavy pillow. Pepper stumbles from the blow, but instantly catches herself. Her complete surprise morphs as she spins to face Claudia, eyes narrow, teeth clenched, Pepper's hands balled in fist. The mood in the room becomes very dark. Ah, crap. Claudia, holding the empty glass like a weapon, faces her challenger. They posture, crouched, tails low, ears flaring, neither backing down, both ready to leap upon each other. Angry war sounds like the room as each echo vocalizes a final warning to the other. No, 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 stop, stop, stop. I shout and quickly rise, tripping over myself in the process. Way to fail your dex check there, hero. My theatrical stumbling knocked several items off of the coffee table, distracting both Nekos and allowing me to get between them. Both of you go to your rooms right now. I can tell they want to protest their unfinished business, but my adrenaline and anger are unmistakable, as is my tone. Not okay. You both need to cool off. Go. We'll talk about this later. Neither Neko decides to speak. Rooms. Now. Sulking, they head to their rooms. Heart still pounding, I collapse back on the sofa. Thank God that worked. Kinda. That wasn't your most stellar success there, hero.
Yeah, well, it's the start of the. It's the start. We can
Right.
give him a little bit of grace.
I can't be too hard on him. It's just like a whole lot to
In
love.
fact, we
I
haven't
gotta
even
give
gotten.
him.
There's at least 2 other heroines that I am expecting that we're going to see.
Yeah.
So
I get to spend the early afternoon distraction-free. Both Nekos being in the rooms means I don't have to worry about any more problems between them for a while. I take the opportunity to indulge myself and bake a cream cheese banana bread. That sounds pretty good. The oven cooks the cake-like dough. A dark thought crowds out of the joys that baking brings me. Looming in the back of my mind is a concern that won't be ignored. What if they never get along? I hadn't even considered this as a possibility, but that whole thing with the tails was a bit of a wake-up. They have to get along. Maybe I could...
they will inevitably get along together as long as you're mindful of them and you don't. This is kind of not speaking. This is not really the way to introduce 2 cats to each other.
No, it's really not.
Do it over the course of several days.
Yeah, you let them get used to each other's scents in separate rooms, for starters.
But this is not the worst thing that could happen.
Pepper stands by the fridge. I failed to notice her approach while lost in thought, and of course she got my attention in the most obnoxious way she could think of. If you leave the refrigerator door open too long, it chimes. Yep. Are you going to close it? Ugh, thank God, that was getting old. I don't know if you could have heard that or not, Itaku, but that was chiming at me, so that's why I wanted to progress.
Unfortunately, I can't really hear it. Sorry.
Okay, so you got to miss out on the annoying chime, so don't worry, you'll hear it when the video's live, so there's that. She does, then looks at me and sucks on her teeth. That sound is pretty annoying. Pepper bored. Oh, Pepper looks past me, her eyes lazily flitting around the room, searching for something that might interest her. Finding nothing, they return to me. She reaches over to open the refrigerator door again. Wait. What do you want?
Pepper bored.
Pepper
going to commit terrorism.
Pepper want unboard Pepper. Duh. I have no idea how to unboard Pepper. Congratulations to me, because I'm now the guy that gets to keep her unboard. Acknowledging my new role with a deep sigh.
She is a hunter.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have random rabbits? Are there rabbits in your area? Are there, squirrels? I'm
Birds,
just saying.
Literally anything.
You now have a little apex predator that's going to murder the snot out of any vermin that area.
That is very true. Acknowledging my new role with a deep sigh, I try and think of something for her to do. Let's see. Nekos don't grasp cooking the way people do it, and it's too early to get dinner ready anyway. Besides, helping in the kitchen is Claudia's territory. Can't see that going well. I don't think she could grasp surfing the internet on my phone, and, I guess that really is all I do with my time. Cooking and surfing the internet. Sometimes walking to the... Hey! Pepper demands my attention return to the issue of her boredom, but I've drawn a complete blank. Sorry. Well, is there something in particular that would unbore you? Um... Oh! Kill rats! Get him, Pepper? In a fairly off-putting way, Pepper's face contorts into a twisted, dark joy at the prospect. Sorry, Pepper. No rats here. Just as quickly dims again. Pepper looks like I'm keeping every rat in the world hidden away just so she can't murder them. After a moment, her pout gives way to a look that is both sultry and a bit sinister. Never seen Pepper act flirty before, which I think is what she's doing. Okay. She's come up with an idea, but her expression makes me imagine that it may not be the most wholesome of activities. Bounce. Bounce? Now, there are times OmONeko will say something when you're not entirely sure that they're using the language correctly. For example, if Claudia says outside now, she could mean there is something outside, or I'm going outside, or you should take that outside. The full meaning of what's being conveyed is often lost in translation. I've known Claudia long enough that I can usually figure out what she's saying based on situation. Actually, this is kind of interesting because this is something that's actually explored in Monster Rancher, of all places, where it's mentioned in some of the documents in Monster Rancher 4 that despite the fact that pixies look human and they can be very intelligent by monster standards, they are actually feral. They are not truly human-level intelligent. So, yeah.
Yes.
No relationships with your monsters.
Pixie-human relations end in tragedy because of that. Yes.
But Pepper... Bounce. She said it in a provocative way that fills my mind with, well, that earlier conversation about Goro and Pepper in the shower together. Actually, he never said that. He just let her take showers with him, just that she'll try to get in. Regardless of my brain, but nothing virtuous connects to bounce. Maybe you need to get her an exercise ball, genius. Think laterally. Pepper, what is bounce? I ask, not sure I want to know the answer. Pepper's tail sweeps around in a quick circle. Her grin widens, if that's possible. Bounce, bounce! Bounce ball. Oh, bounce a ball. That's the first thing I would have thought of. Why are you... Bro, you are... Dude, pro tag. Take a cold shower? Good lord.
You know, this raises a question.
That we are, entering into the realm of discussing about cat-girl-human relationships.
That, and also I'm like, so they've had Claudia and Pepper since they were kittens, since they were children, right?
Right.
Have they been fixed? Do you think?
We have not addressed that, and we also have not addressed if that's a common thing to do if you have Nekos. So we don't actually know the answer to that. Shrug.
That's what... Here's the thing. Okay, so just so people are aware, there's going to be some hyper deepest, supreme deepest Ditaku and Tomo lore.
All right.
When I was in high school, I actually wrote a "If Cat Girls Were Real" and ramifications paper. That was about 10 pages long.
You did. I read it.
Yes. In fact, if anyone has it, I recall you were actually like wowed with it and you wanted it, so I just gave it to you. I just wrote it just because I was like interested in the idea. I kind of assumed that cat girls would actually have human intelligence, but the ramifications of whether or not they would be considered people or not kind of depends on. And my conclusion as a nerdy 17-year-old was basically what that kind of enters the question of what you consider humans to be, whether or not if it's the genome or if it's the ability to think rationally. Ultimately,
that is an interesting question.
And so the reason why I bring this up is because, this kind of depends on whether or not they are kind of going to, that these animals, these creatures, are more cat-like or more human-like. Because if they're more human-like, then the ability, like for cats especially, to have multiple, basically have multiple children, and that's kind of the norm. And also the fact that like the cats can actually get pregnant while they are pregnant.
Yep.
Which is pretty wild. It's not really a thing that humans can do. We have a very fine-tuned reproductive system.
Yep.
Very efficient, but also very finicky at the same time. Cats have a lot more freeform. Like, in fact, here's the beautiful thing about them. Because of the fact that cats can get multiple toms can knock up a female, you will actually notice kittens who basically look like they're made in one of those wild, like, you remember those like flip books where it'll be like, create your own monster, and it'll have like 5 different things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Cats can have multiple fathers. Ultimately, I guess is what I'm saying. No, it's true.
Yeah.
They will do this. So whether or not it's going to be more human or more feline in terms of the way that goes are presented, I'm curious to see this. So, and also you should totally, ask for my old essay from Snek, because if anyone has it, he has it.
I will have to check my fireproof box, because that's where my old high school stuff resides.
You have a lot of old
I will check. I will check. If I can rescue it, I will transcribe it into a text document and release it to the world.
Now, bear in mind, this is like 2002 era Titaku, so
go easy on him.
Yes.
And another thing to know is a common misconception is that people believe that a cat has to go into heat prior to being fixed. That is not true. They can actually be fixed at like 3 weeks or something. It's much earlier than most people think. And the cat does not have to go through estrus one time before they can be fixed. They don't need to go through it at all.
This also, by that same token, kittens can basically get pregnant. And I've seen it a few times where like they're single mother, they're mother kittens that are basically just, they themselves are barely old enough to be able to, do so. And they have their own little kittens too. And it is like the saddest thing.
It is.
Because they really don't know how to deal with and usually they're the ones who have like 1 or rather than like the 4 or 5 that you see with adults.
And they'll also come out much smaller and much weaker and much less likely to survive.
Yes, it is very sad because they don't know what to do with them. They don't know. They're children themselves, basically.
Yep.
So
this is quite different from. Never mind. Wait, why did my mind go straight to something lewd? Yes, that is my question, Hero. Why did your mind go there?
Get him, Professor. Hit him with the horny bat.
No, bad. Don't make Ultraman Zero like drop kick you too. I don't care that got the video demonetized. That was worth it just for the stupid visual gag of seeing Dark Clops Ditaku get drop kicked by Ultraman Zero.
You know what? I deserve it. That was pretty great. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. The more S posts you do, it seems like people pay attention, and you've gotten way better at it too. So more power to you.
That was actually a learning experience. I could see my skills improving as I was doing it, so that was really cool. I'm talking about Anomalous Coffee Machine, if you guys want to watch that. It's pretty early. It's like the second drink we give her led to an H scene. And so I was like, whoops, gotta do something about this.
And the worst part is the fact that, like, it's not even a case of like, oh my, this veers into H scene. It's like, it literally is like, OMG, And she immediately jumps our boat.
Yeah, go straight into it. And I was like, whoops, gotta have something to block this. And my first suggestion was like kittens and bunnies. And Dutaku was like, it'd be funnier if you had like, Ultraman jumps in the way and protects the children. And I was like, I think I can arrange something like that.
Yeah. Little did I know I was going to get drop kicked.
My Ultraman Zero. Yes. Pretty sure that says more about me than it does about Goro. Hey! That pulls me out of my internal monologue and back to our conversation. I don't have a ball. I could probably buy one at the convenience store. Pepper have? Her eyes light up and she races down the hallway and into her room. I hear the zipper open on her small suitcase.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Claudia, curious.
At my work, one of the directors has a corgi.
Right.
His name is Kinjo. He is a sweetheart.
Right.
But the little lad loves him some fetch. And if he sees that you have a ball, it's going to be a case of you were going to throw a ball until your arm falls off. And I have had situations where I've played fetch with him for like 3 hours.
That's how my parents' dog, Connor, he's a Westover Terrier.
He never played fetch with me, the little booger.
The older he gets, the less he is. When he was a puppy, you could throw that thing for hours, and he would just he'd be panting so hard you could see his lungs moving, but he would still want you to throw the ball. And I'm like, bro, my arm's tired. Give me a break. Claudia's
all he would want to do is just sit on my lap.
Oh no, he's a lap dog. He's a potato, but when he wants to play, and he's all muscles, so he's good at it. So, Claudia, curious as to what Pepper and I were up to, joins us from her sunroom. Pepper rushes back, carrying a bright, multicolored rubber ball, her tail tall with glee. Seeing Claudia, Pepper goes to hand the ball to her. Then yanks it away when Claudia reaches for it. Her thick tail ticks back and forth, emphasizing as she scolds. No bounce inside, bounce outside, outside. Claudia scowls at Pepper's teasing, her own tail returning the favor in a dismissive sweep like the pendulum of a grandfather clock. Pepper gives a scampish...
I am kind of noticing the, with them side by side like this.
Yeah, Claudia is markedly bigger than her.
She's markedly bigger, and you'll also look at their tails.
Yeah, the tail is huge.
Pepper seems to be like a short hair.
Yeah.
And, Claudia definitely is like a long.
Some kind of long hair. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they are supposed to be, correlating to a particular breed or whatever.
Well, we can ask the game devs about that. I have a direct link to at least one of them.
Curious.
Yeah. If you guys are watching, are they based on specific cat breeds, or were they just kind of designed after certain coats? Let us know. Pepper gives a scampish grin, wrinkling her nose at Claudia. Seriously, what a brat. Okay, that's enough. Let's go bounce. Pepper genuinely smiles for the first time since coming here. A huge grin seems way too many teeth that seems to extend from ear to ear.
I will say that I have had cats that are like this. My my middle sister, rather. Sorry. She had a cat who was a calico.
Right.
Who was called Callie, who absolutely loved trolling the crap out of our... and the funny thing was we had a dog.
Right.
And she would terrorize the cats, but then she would go over and she would on the... And the dog was absolutely confused by this. Which I think was probably her trying to be a terrorist in her own way to the dog too. And be like, see, the dog won't know what to do if I'm kind to her, so aha. But yes.
Cats.
So cats teasing, that's a thing they will do. Absolutely.
Once in the backyard, Pepper eagerly hands me the ball.
She's actually being happy.
She runs to the side of the yard, hopping about expectantly. I toss her the ball. She catches it easily, and her excitement instantly fades. No. Pepper points at the sky and speaks to me like I have cognitive issues. Bounce. Good thing I feel a headache coming on. What do I do, Pepper? I don't know how to play your game. Bounce harder.
You're supposed to bounce it, you idiot. She wants to catch it in the air.
Pepper
She's
demonstrates. Yeah, she's not looking for a softball. She wants to chase.
Yeah.
Pepper demonstrates by throwing the ball very hard onto the ground. It bounces up into the warm air of the afternoon sun, much higher than I expected. Ball comes down and bounces towards the gate. While I retrieve the ball, movement in the corner of my eye causes me to notice Claudia. Back in her sunroom, she brushes her hair while watching us through the windows. Makes me feel like Pepper and I are participants in a very bad reality TV show. As long as none of the neighbors can see me. I wind up. Pepper coils like a spring. I bounce the ball hard onto the ground.
You
Goes
know what?
up.
This is going to be a case like in Jurassic Park where they, the raptors can like jump like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah. Goes
She's
up, comes down.
Going to be able to do that if she's got like cat level capability of jumping at a human size. That's what she's going to be able to do.
Like, that would be pretty crazy. Pepper hasn't moved. The ball eventually comes to rest by her feet. A gentle breeze stirs the leaves on the trees. Far off, a raven shouts its raspy signature craw. Birds chirp happily in the warm summer sun. Pepper and I stare at each other. What now? She kicks the ball over to me. Say it. Please? No, not say please. Then what? What do you want me to say? With strange earnestness, Pepper looks off into the distance. Say, get him, Pepper. This is the most convoluted game of catch I've ever played. I got the ball with a grunt, narrowing my eyes at Pepper. I find myself gripping the ball much tighter than I intended. It feels good. All of my frustration aimed at Mia and Goro is unleashed on this poor piece of rubber. I bounce it with as much force as I can muster. My throw is so explosive that I wouldn't be surprised if her ball ricocheted into the sky at such a velocity that it achieves orbit. I shout, nay, I command, get him, Pepper! The ball goes up. Like a flash, Pepper darts in and leaps, snatching the ball out of the air one-handed, then immediately throws it to me before she even finishes her jump. I'll admit that this whole event has felt like an annoyance, but I'm stunned at her athletic feat that she just performed. Her speed, the height of her jump, that was amazing. It reminds me of something from a baseball highlight reel, the natural and effortless talent. I'm so taken by her display of skill that I missed the catch. The ball bounces off my forehead, hits the gate, and lands on the flowers. Pepper laughs, enjoying my clumsiness as she retrieves the ball. Bad catch, dude. Need get good. Goro's influence on her is aggravatingly apparent. I find myself irritated again. Because he's leaving. Damn. The revelation is humbling. Much more than being angry at him for dumping Pepper here, I'm angry at him for leaving me. The selfishness gives way to the almost forgotten sense of emptiness, haunting that I haven't felt for a long time. Dad didn't leave. He died. That's not the same. It takes a lot of concentrating to force away those feelings. Still, Goro is my best friend. Besides Claudia and Mom, he's the person I know longer than anyone else. And now he's going away. But in a way, I do still have a part of him here in my life, through Pepper. As I rub away the sting from where the ball hit me in the forehead, something about that makes me smile. Hey! Pepper taps an imaginary watch on her wrist. Let's go! Pepper bouncy time! My smile fades and I shake my head. Damn it, Goro! I bounce Pepper for close to half an hour. Better rephrase that. Pepper and I play bounce for close to half an hour. By the time we're done, I can barely lift my arm. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Pepper's wholly satisfied and quite sweaty.
Hey, MC Coon was doing it to himself. Okay?
He is. He's setting himself.
Have we gotten a name for this guy yet?
We don't. We don't know what his name is yet. We are still working on that.
No, he is MC. I don't know if I can call him MC. He's being way less. He's not being earnest enough to be.
He's not being honest with his feeling. Well, this is the start of his character arc, as we said. We gotta, like we did with a whole lot of love. We gotta give this guy some grace here and see how things work.
Wow. Okay. I mean, you're not wrong. All right. That's true.
Pepper's wholly satisfied and quite sweaty, worn out from sprinting and jumping. Running around in the heat of the afternoon sun has burned away all of her gloom. Before me stands the sassy and happy Pepper I know.
Aw,
Totally spent.
he's happy.
Tired and short of patience from her periodic snide comments. But this was very good. Plus, I can't remember the last time I did any kind of exercise beyond my walk to the convenience store a few times a week. I think as long as I can keep her unbored and not lose my temper, this might work out after all. As we head inside, I notice that Claudia isn't in the sunroom anymore.
That's good.
I make some lemonade for Pepper and myself and decide it's probably a good idea to put together a snack for the three of us. Pepper hasn't eaten much. Surely after that workout, she'll be hungry. I know I am, and Claudia always appreciates something tasty. Getting everything onto the plates, I'm about to call Claudia and tell Pepper to wash her hands when... Where'd she go? She was just here. Pepper, no! Pepper, yes! Okay. You got me. That's good. A sudden ruckus erupts like a string of firecrackers as we rushing down the hall. Why? Claudia's in the bathtub. She's naked, save for her soapy bubbles floating over the water clinging to her glistening wet skin. Her cheeks are flushed and an icy frown hangs where her warm smile normally sits. Pepper's also in the bathtub and has her top off. Pepper, turn! No, Pepper! Oh, thank goodness, we have convenient censorship, though I'll probably still have to censor it in post anyway. Pepper us and OmONeko's look at me with the expectation that I will fix this situation.
Pepper can, now is fully ready for her ZZ Top cover band career.
She is. She's getting there. OmONeko's look at me with the expectation that I will fix the situation in a manner that makes one of them the winner. For the moment, the three of us just stare. Oh boy. I'm not proud to admit that I actually considered shutting the door and letting them sort this out themselves, but this could easily become two Nekos trying to drown each other and a possibility of succeeding. Well said. Good job. Pepper and Claudia are clearly unimpressed with my peacemaking skills.
Good job. We're all looking forward to you. Closed door.
Just want to tell you good luck. We're all counting on you.
That's an airplane joke.
They turn back towards each other with glares icy enough to freeze the bathwater. It's known that Nekos can make sounds outside the range of human hearing, and it's theorized they have a limited communication at this frequency. Confirming my speculation, their ears flatten to reflect some silent argument, which suddenly becomes audible. Out, now! No, Pepper, want. Stop! Both of you, please, stop. Take a deep breath to loosen some of the tension binding my insides. Yes, cats have very sensitive ears. You should not yell at them. They don't understand why you're yelling.
Nope.
So, don't do that.
Nope. Nope. It's... honestly, it's difficult to communicate with cats.
It is.
Why? I mean, honestly, it's difficult to communicate with dogs, too, because, I mean, if they do something... And it's easier to communicate with dogs, but because they do recognize human language as you trying to communicate to them, especially the tone of your voice.
Yep.
But after like about 20 minutes, if something happens and you're upset and you're like, basically it's just completely pointless to try and be like, this was you, this was bad, because they're like, it's out of their mind at that point. But I mean, you can, they have the capacity to learn and do things. But with cats, they're kind of inscrutable, really.
Yeah, no, cats are very much prone to doing their own thing. And while very young kittens can be trained on certain things, that window is short and closes rapidly. So... I mean, the upside is, like, cats will mostly litter box train themselves. You don't really need to do anything special. But past that, conveying to them...
even quicker if they see their mother.
Yeah.
Uses a litter box.
Right.
Then they will basically figure it out on their own.
Yep.
But yeah.
But, for instance, telling Sir Dash to not claw my couch is just kind of a fool's errand. And explaining to him that he has a perfectly good cat tree not 3 feet away does not faze him.
The best thing you can do is give them opportunities like your cat tree or other things. Give it to them and then basically, shush them or, discourage them when they do it.
Right.
Yeah, there really is not a whole lot you can do. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just expressing to the people who don't have floofs that live with them. The perils of
Yep.
the professor.
Pets are a big responsibility, and you should not adopt them if you are not certain you are up for the task. Like, that sounds harsh, I get it, but it's important for their sake and for yours. So, do your research, people.
The most heartbreaking thing is we had a tortoise shell who we got her when she was about 8 months old, and she had actually been returned from another family who had her for like a month. And it was very clear she had separation anxiety. And she had it for the 20 years that we had her. She was like very concerned and like uncharacteristically so about who was around in the family, where they were. And if she could not find someone, she would run to one of the open rooms and she would God, cat. We're here. Come here.
Yep.
Dig that.
Just like people, cats can develop issues, and a lot of those issues start at kittenhood and never really clear up. So, I have something yummy in the kitchen. Fresh squeezed lemonade and a still warm banana bread with cream cheese. Come right now, Pepper, or I'm going to eat them and you won't get any. Pepper considers my offer, wearing yummies against Claudia's warm bath. Here's your top and a towel. Dress and dry your feet. Come get the yummies. Then, after Claudia's done with her bath, you can take a shower.
Oh my god. I hate the fact that my first thought was, do Nekos have to wear bras? Is this a thing that they have to work in?
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, you guys aren't seeing it, but I'm massaging the bridge of my nose right now. So, okay, for Biology 101, for all you dumb children out there, mammals are named mammals because of the mammary glands, the ability to produce milk for their children. So, here's the thing. Nekos apparently have permanently enlarged breasts, just like humans do. So, in that case, I'm going to have to go out on a limb here and assume, yes, that Nekos would need supportive undergarments. So thank you, Dutaku, for making me stop and reflect on that.
Here's the thing, though, Professor. Here's the thing, though. If they also are like cats, that implies to me that they actually don't have collarbones as we would have them. They actually have a series of ligaments and muscles. So they may actually have it such that their entire basically collarbone section is so strengthened that basically the entire thing is like held together by like just like their upper body strength basically. This is also the reason why cats can like literally fit through like tiny little holes.
Yep.
Because they don't have shoulder blades and shoulder bones the way that humans do. So they can't break those because they don't have them. Once again, though, this is me kind of going, are they more human?
I'm gonna pass this one to the game devs. Do they have collarbones? Because like it kind of looks like underneath your collar there is a line that looks like it might be a collarbone, but that's not necessarily there.
That could also just be a
muscle tension.
and cats do have that, but it's cartilaginous.
Yeah,
it's literally a band of cartilage and also a series of muscles.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I'm gonna pass it to the game devs. They'll have to answer that one for us.
I mean, in the thing with this is that OG Warcraft actually did not have that. That was actually a plot point with the original Battleheart Heat. So,
okay.
I mean, that's not true for workers now. They're much more sturdy.
Right.
But
fair enough.
Yeah, just cat facts that Itaku thinks about.
While we're assessing this very silly game about cat girls, yes.
Yes.
Unhappily, Pepper cedes the battlefield, but only due to the realization of what a good deal she'll get with the lemonade, snack, and shower. She really dresses without even wiping off most of the suds.
I'll also say this. I have known cats to eat banana bread. It is a wild thing, especially if you put butter on it.
Dash doesn't really care for people food very much. He wants to know what I have, but he rarely eats it. Not unless not unless it's like pure protein. If I give him like a piece of chicken or a shrimp, he will inhale that. But yeah, if it's anything else, he doesn't really care that much. Lemon squeezy yum, Pepper gonna get him. And skips down the hallway with her tail held high. Yeah, go get him, Pepper. Before I can leave, Claudia's agitated, foamy, and bubbling appearance holds me fast. This is a bit uncomfortable for me, as Claudia is naked, but I can't just walk away from her like this. The only time Claudia ever pampers herself is when she takes a relaxing bath, and Pepper has made this anything but relaxing. Having an impolite, bratty cat that doesn't respect boundaries and isn't ladylike, as Mom would say, is not something she's ever had to deal with. I completely understand how she's feeling. Pepper's been here for less than 24 hours, and I've already broken up 2 heated arguments. Yes, I know, you're right, Claudia. What Pepper did was not okay. I will talk to her about it right now. Claudia relaxes somewhat at my reassurance. Would you do something for me? She looks at me expectantly. I take a moment to formulate my thoughts. Think about if you were Pepper. Claudia wrinkles her nose, not liking my suggestion in any way. I explain. She's never been to our house before and didn't even know she was coming to live here. Pepper had no idea that Goro was leaving her. She's alone now, except for us. This seems to reach Claudia, quicker and deeper than I anticipated. Her expression eases. What if you were alone and afraid? You'd want someone to help you, right? She pensively considers my words. Yes, Pepper can be super obnoxious, but I've known her for a long time, and I think she's a good kitty at heart. Claudia remains unconvinced, until I, probably unfairly, ask her, would you try and get along with Pepper, for me? At my asking, Claudia swallows some of her outrage and finally gives a small smile and a nod. For you. Thanks, Claus. I knew I could rely on you. I'll save you some banana bread. Enjoy your bath. That's a lot of bubbles. Lots and lots. Very cute. Pepper and I have our snack. Trying not to sour her vastly improved mood, I delicately ease into the issue of privacy and not interrupting Claudia during bath time. Burp. It doesn't go very well. Yummy, yummy, Pepper's tummy. Later out, Pepper's bummy. Can't tell if she doesn't understand, doesn't care, is too focused on her snack and fart jokes. Why does this feel like this would be, Cog's pick of waifu in this game? That's just the impression I get.
I don't know. She's hyper focused, murder machine, kind of brash.
And enjoys fart jokes. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I just found something I need to...
Ruh-roh. Nekos do have limited attention spans with stuff like this. Claudia's independence and polite, simple manner has spoiled me. In contrast, dealing with an obstinate and high-maintenance Pepper is its own kind of puzzle. When Claudia finishes her bath, I make Pepper get clean clothes and turn on the shower for her. I'm barely out of the bathroom where Pepper runs in and starts getting naked. Happy hour, Pepper shower, wee! Trying to ignore what I just saw, I focus on what Goro had said. He's right. Pepper shower certainly goes on far too long, and I'll bet she's using too much shampoo. At least, with the time spent playing bounce and long hot shower, she should sleep well tonight. By the time I get in the shower, all the hot water's used up. Get cold! Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Since the girls are in their rooms, most likely for naps, I grab my house keys and a canvas shopping bag. Under the bright sunny afternoon sky, I make a quick dash to the local shop to grab some things I'll need for dinner. Something else I've been meaning to get. It's a long shot, maybe that they'll have it, but maybe I'll get lucky. Achoo! Lind, the clerk at the counter, is entertaining himself by plucking a hair out of his nose, then sneezing several times. As I head to the back of the shop, he waves to me with his free hand while his other busies itself, digging deep for something to pluck. Achoo! After browsing through the limited selection of board games, I grab the box with way too much enthusiasm. I just can't believe they have it. I know Claudia will absolutely love this, and I'm sure Pepper will too. Waited to find what I was looking for. I quickly grabbed the groceries with the newfound spring in my step. Unfortunately, while I was at the back of the store, a few people came in and are already checking out. Of course, now I'm stuck behind the old man who's paying for his entire purchase in change. Crap.
That's hashtag relatable.
Realizing this mild annoyance is going to take a little while, I browse near a source of distraction. What's that?
I'm just saying, there's a very intelligent, very wise philosopher who said something that's related to this.
Do tell.
Old people die.
Thank you, Cog.
You knew it was coming.
Whatever you're doing right now, Cog, I hope that you sneeze in response to this video. Realizing the mild...
We needed more Cog sagas.
That is true. More. That is true. Realizing this mild annoyance is going to take a little while, I browse near a source of distraction I can find. Checkout line magazine rack. Let's see. Pop star A is nodding cute and popular actress B. Nope, no interest. Rat boy Elvis impersonator elected mayor of small town. Better, slightly, but still no. Ah, here we go. Comics. Grab the first one with an interesting cover. The Adventures of Red Rocket.
Oh my.
Space Girl, Kara Cosmos. Red. Rat World, Kaboom. 1 minute you're minding your own business, the next everything is blowing up all around you. Well, we may have had something to do with that. Clicks and whirs. It's a message from the group. Your actions are extreme. Space Girl, you are kicked out of the group. No, she was banished by Sonic the Hedgehog. Rocket's right.
Speed.
Things will never be the same.
Wow, that's a little bit presumptive there, Snek. I mean, you destroy planets all the time.
It's okay when you do it, but I blow up Rat World, and it's suddenly a big deal. Screw 'em. We'll find our own adventures. Achoo. Sneeze alerts me to the store being empty again, save for me and Lind. Lind has apparently returned to plucking hairs out of his nose. I decided to bag my own items. Yo, my dude. Sorry, in a rush today. Cat scratch fever? I grimace, slowly starting to count to 10. Lynn is one of the few people who knows that Claudia lives with me, and that's only because he dates my neighbor Veronica. As a result, he often finds ways to throw crude jabs about it at me. Not enough that he'd get fired for it, but still rude. 4, 5, 6. I get to 9 before I'm able to swallow back the bile and act as though his off-color comments don't bother me. I have to. It's not like he's the only one who thinks that way about Nekos. Sure, Lind. Thank God he doesn't know about Pepper. I actually am in a rush. In a way, Lind wasn't too far off the cat scratch fever comment. The worry of Claudia and Pepper getting into another fight without me there to intervene carries me home at a pace far too quick for my current state of fitness. Fortunately, I get back to the house without overturned furniture, broken windows, or police everywhere. Small victories.
I'm just saying, I might have irritated Mama Snek because of my playing of Ted Nugent.
I think she was more impressed that you knew who that was. It's not really a common part of the playlist for guys in our age demographic.
You know what? She should have known. I mean, Jethro Tull is not very common in our age bracket either. So
fair. Because I'll tell you, one time I really blew her socks off because I told our Echo to play Moon River, and she turns and looks at me with probably the most dramatic facial expression I think I've ever seen that woman make. And she goes, "How do you know Moon River?" And I'm like, Moon River is a beautiful song. Who doesn't?
Huh. How do you know Moon River then?
There's actually a remix of it in Bayonetta 2. That's the honest truth.
That would do it. That would do it.
Oh, please, don't pretend for an instant that I'm classy. We all know better.
I mean, considering that the first one ends with a arrangement of Fly Me to the Moon, which, honestly, it's strange, that we have anime, weeaboo, things that reference that Frank Sinatra song.
Yep.
It's strange that there are two of them, because,
Strange that it's happened twice.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Yeah, Dr. Doomswords, yeah.